Hello everyone, and welcome to our latest Still COVIDing adventure. This is definitely going to be a new adventure for us all. Today we're here to talk about our new forum off of Facebook. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about is why we decided to even do a forum off of Facebook, because that's a fair question. Um, we decided to do a forum off of Facebook because number one, we'll own the data. And, some of you might remember that I got like incorrectly booted off of Facebook about a month ago. And then it was a couple weeks before I could get the accounts back together. And then a lot of our pin posts and things were gone because I had posted them before. And so it just, not owning our own data, and we've accumulated a pretty massive amount of data in the last 5 years. Well, I guess our groups aren't quite 5 years old. They're more like almost four, I think. But anyway, there's a lot of data there and a lot of work that not only us on the ModMin team, but that you guys as a community have put together in posts and threads and supporting each other. And we don't want to be in danger of that just poofing away, our group poofing away, or our users poofing away. And so that was one reason. Another reason is we wanted to turn up our privacy a notch. We know that with the current administration, the COVIDing community is not super popular. Neither are some of the initiatives that we take, or some of the precautions that we take, or some of the tools that we use. And so we wanted to have a place where we could be a little bit more private, have a little bit more control over who was perusing our data, who could request our data, who had our data. And so on the new server and our new forum, it is a private offshore server. So it is housed actually in Australia, and it is, not subject to scrutiny or perusal by anybody but those of us who are on it or working on it, and that just it feels like the right thing to do for us right now. And then the other thing that we've noticed too is on Facebook, and you've probably seen it, they're like enabling AI, and we keep turning it off in our groups as fast as they turn it on, but we turn it off and they turn it back on, and we turn it off and they turn it back on. And then there's all of this, censorship through just certain keywords and all of those kind of things. And so we finally just got a little bit fed up with all of those multi-factors and said, okay, actually, several months ago, right about election time, we started looking at different options about why, where could we go, and where could we go as a community that would meet our needs. Obviously, Facebook is very convenient, it has a lot of bells and whistles and a lot of things that we're used to, and so it was a little bit of a search to find another platform that could do the things functionally that we wanted it to do. Without costing a gazillion dollars, and at the same time, be easy enough for us to use and put together and all of that. And so we finally actually, did find somebody to help us, and we found again the server space and the URL and the sort of software package that we've been building out, and we are, now ready to launch this weekend. We wanted to launch tomorrow, but we are going to actually launch on Sunday to give us, again, tomorrow another day to keep doing the data transfer and polishing things up for the first round of people that will be coming in. It is a manual data transfer, so it's literally like copy pasting posts and moving things over. And it's, as we move our groups around, it's like setting very finicky kinds of settings and everything to make sure that everything works. And so that leads me to, why did we decide to let people in batches? Because I'm sure everyone here, you guys are the ones who are keeping up with things and what's going on. But we decided to let people in batches because, first of all, we want to make sure that, any of these bugs or any of these settings that we're working on, we can, really attend the server for the first several days with a smaller group of people to make sure that, everything is working properly. We also are not 100% sure about the server space that we're going to need. We think we have more than adequate space to get up and rolling and going. But we may find out really fast if everyone gets on there and like post a whole bunch of their favorite memes or wants to, come at once, that we have to expand the server space, which we do have plenty of ability to do. We can, upgrade our space fairly quickly with a click of a button, actually, but we need to sort of see in batches of people as they come in, how much server space do we actually need. So it's all in the name of kind of controlled chaos, that we're going to be, letting people in a bit at a time. And it just made good sense to us, to, offer the community the opportunity to support us, and then let the people who were, vested in coming in as supporters, try the server out first. So thank you, a heartfelt thank you to everybody who's donated to this effort to get this forum up and running off the ground. We greatly appreciate it. It has been really, really helpful and allowed us to take some of, the cost instead of from our own pocket to share it, so that we can do this build out more expediently and better for everybody. So thank you guys so much. Those of you who have come in as service supporters. It really does help. But now, like I said, now we'll be getting ready to launch. So I wanted to walk everybody through it today. I wanted to sort of show you what it looked like. I wanted to give you, again, some of the logistics of how this was going to work and what the server could or could not do. So I'm going to quit talking now, and I'm going to start showing because that's why everybody's here. So let me share my screen. And if I can just get a thumbs up that you're looking at, okay. The URL is still covidingandbeyond.com. And if you right now type in stillcovidingandbeyond.com on your computer, and this is the screen that you will come to. And this is where everybody will land, and you can land there right now. What you can't do yet is hit this sign up button. This is what will be released on Sunday. Sorry, people are still coming in. I'm trying to let people in as I talk. On Sunday, we will be sending out the codes, the invite codes, so that you guys can actually come in and start putting your information in the server. So, but when you come in, you will see this sign up screen, and then you will hit sign up. And then after you hit sign up, let me see if I can get oh, I don't need to sign up. I'm already signed up. Sorry. After you hit sign up, I'll show you what you're going to see. You're going to, the first thing you're going to see is this screen right here, which is answer the questions to join the forum. And this is going to let us know which parts of the forum you are interested in seeing, because the forum is built a little bit like Facebook. Some of the things that are groups now in Facebook are actually just going to be discussion topics in the forum, especially the things like FAR UV, and even Plus Life, and some of the things that everybody probably wants to know about and see. You won't actually have to join a specific group. You just join the forum to see those. But then there's other areas of the forum, particularly like the long hauler area or the homeschooling area or the hardcore holdouts. Like those kinds of groups will remain, optional. And so this is where you tell us what Still Coviding Facebook groups you're already a part of. We do ask you to give us your Facebook username so that we can go to, the groups that you say you're a part of and just make sure you are who you say you are. We don't anticipate, a high troll factor here because it is a private server, and for somebody to know about it, someone had to tell them that we were doing it. So it's not, just completely out there, but that will be part of our verification process in the beginning to make sure that that everyone from our community is coming in. The first step will be the invites will go out to the email of the people who have supported us on Ko-fi. So that's one layer of security that you had to have done that, and then we'll be verifying your Facebook username. And then you'll just tell us, basically which groups you're already in, what you want to be a part of. And then the really cool thing about this server too is we used to have all of those like where in the world are you threads mods where you could go in and like say you were from a certain state or whatever, and then then certain still COVIDing groups based on locale and area sort of spun off. This forum will allow us, when you come in, if you tell us just roughly where you are, then we can go ahead and tag you with the location, so that you can actually participate in discussions with other people that are local to you really easily. And if you're sort of on the border of, say you're on the border of South and West or something like that, you can just put, I'd like to be in, both groups, or something like that. Just tell us where you are and we'll tag you in that way. And that way, if you're looking, say, to, share somebody's sterile ray light or share somebody's Plus Life machine, you can go into your local group and say, hey, or you're traveling and say, you say, I'm traveling to so and so area. I guess you could find someone you knew that was there and say, would you post in the local group? Because I need X, Y, or Z. And so it'll be a lot easier than having to be like a part of like a bunch of different groups on Facebook or that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. But anyway, it'll ask you if you answer once you answer these questions then go into a queue. Um, and someone from the Modmin team has to come in and read. They have to verify your Facebook name, and then they have to put you in all the categories that you want to come in, and then once you do that, you'll be good to go. So I'm actually going to switch out of my mod screen because I want to just log in as a regular user, so you can see what that would look like. So when you log in, you get all of these like nice colorful boxes. And like I said, this one is not like all bells and whistles like Facebook, but it will do what we needed it to do, and it is complex enough, I think, to capture the essence and the information in our group. So, the first thing that you might want to check out is if you click on your username, and your username has to be all smushed together. There's no spaces in your username. You can use capital letters to delineate the words. It doesn't have to match your Facebook username unless you just want it to. That's completely up to you. But once you have your username here, you can go to settings and you can decide, if you want web notifications or email notifications to certain things. And they're pretty self-explanatory. Can others see when I'm online? Do I want to be notified when someone creates a new post or reply? Or when someone replies to me. And if whatever you check here, then they will either send you a notification here or they'll send you an email saying, oh, so and so just replied to your post or so and so tagged you, if that's the kind of thing you like to do. You can also just click on the plus and you can, add yourself a nice little picture, and it will upload it there for you. And then you can also right here write a description about yourself, tell people, something that you want them to know, but it's personal, you can personalize it like that. And then once you're actually here, you'll be able to see like this little demo guy hasn't posted anything yet, but you'll be able to see your post and your discussions that you have participated in. If you were looking for something that you were reading earlier or something that you said, it makes it very easy to see all your activity. It's like your activity log. But basically, other than that, your best friend is this tags column because this tags will bring you back to whatever you want to find. And so you can see here, we've sort of the color scheme is work in progress, but sort of these little darkish blue areas, those are all just general discussion topics. The royal blue areas are more like our tools, sort of our more sciencey things, except for Kyle's going to help us out with the far UVC, and he wanted that one purple, so we turned it purple. And then we have, categories if we want to, do online events or like these talks. Will be posted in the online events category, or if there's like even events happening around in the community, that'll be there. I really like this swap market feature. And we're of course still building stuff out, but starting out here with Plus Life Buy Sell Trade, we have you can put here I have an air filter or whatever for our COVIDing tools and apparatus, and people can at their own risk and own assessment have a little bit of a swap shop. I know that I have a lot of masks that I'm ready to like let go to other homes and different things, so that's available there. I'm excited about that. We also have our reference library, and again, we have just barely are barely getting started bringing stuff over into the reference library. But For example, you might recognize this thread. This thread is actually in forward motion, and it is the cognitive impairment research thread. And so what we're doing is we're just going into the groups. We're pulling, the threads just as they are in the groups. And so we're even trying to preserve the same pictures and everything because we know people sort of get used to like looking for specific information in certain places. And then we're bringing it over here. So you have all the links to the articles that we've preserved in this, thread with the topic on cognitive impairment. And then once this thread is here, if you want to talk about something in cognitive impairment, you can, either reply here or you can go back over, because this is sort of the reference library. So probably discussion here isn't the best place. You might just go over to, the general discussion area and you might, start a discussion topic here and you might have that conversation. Or if you're interested in other kinds of specific topics, like I said, we have, discussion of the quarantine times. Everyone probably remembers the Korean study that set the 10-day minimum, and then they haven't really done much after that study. But here's a lot of the information that we had posted about days from exposure and infectiousness and how many days in which variants do we wait. All of these kinds of things will be here. And then at the same time, if you want to have a discussion about, quarantine times, then you just hit the start a discussion button. You name your discussion. Let's talk about Christmas or something. And then you say, my non-COVIDing in-laws are crashing the party. And then you just post it, and then people can come in. That will make a new discussion topic here, and then people can reply to you, and you guys can talk about all the things that you normally talk about. And the discussions will be rolling as we go along. So, and then if I want to come out of this, like you can always hit the back button, or I can go back to tags. And you can see down here at the bottom. So these are some of the groups that are optional. So this little guy is in hardcore holdouts and the data group, and then also in the Mid-Atlantic group. These groups right here are some of the optional groups that you can join. So not everybody necessarily wants to be in the homeschooling group, or not everybody necessarily wants to be in the dating group or anything like that. But you'll have those options, and they would show up here. So now what can you not, let me show you one more thing, the user directory. So there is a user directory here. So you can come in and say, okay, well, I want to see what Kara's doing. And, it tells you about me. And then it also tells you like where I'm posting and what I'm commenting on, if I've liked anything, if I've mentioned anybody. But what this cannot do yet is we do not have direct messaging capacity turned on. So this group is going to be a little bit more straightforward. There's also no individual blocking each other. So everyone's going to have to communicate like grown-ups and play really nicely because the capacity for blocking and private communication is not enabled yet in this group. If everything's going smoothly and it looks like, everything's working nicely, we can turn on private messaging in the future. But our developer just feels like that the private messaging function right now, it's a little, finicky, and we want to make sure that everybody is, in and moving around freely and talking to each other on the forum before we decide whether or not we're going to let those private messages and stuff go through. This may make you sort of go back a little bit to before there was all this ability to kind of sit behind a keyboard and delete everything later or change everything that we wanted to say, and maybe reach out by email or by text or by phone in terms of those private kinds of interactions. But for community, I think it has that. The other thing that you cannot do on this forum is you can't do direct video uploads. You can upload pictures. For example, you guys probably remember over here in our high risk, you probably remember our mask parade where we have, everybody sharing their nice masked selfies. It's one of my favorites. And I do hope people will participate again. And so our mask parade, we've moved it here. you can click here on the mask parade and you can start to see again all of these selfies of people who have taken the time to upload and join the mask parade. And then after you get done perusing the whole mask parade, you can add your own here to the mask parade at the bottom. It's pretty easy to do. We do have a very nice long mask parade. So let me see if I can get here. And then if I want to add a picture to the mask parade, actually, I've been copy pasting them. You, you can copy paste and post. I thought there was a button here. It's maybe because I may not have it turned on in this account. I'll have to show you in the other account. But basically, I think there's a picture button here that you'll be able to upload these pictures for, or you can grab them off of your computer and copy paste them and pop them right here in as pictures as well. So um, let me just flip back into that other account and show you guys how to upload a picture. So I think this one is not set up to do that yet. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Like all of these little things that we're doing are important. Yeah, there it is. See my media. So I can, I've already uploaded these. I can choose what I've uploaded or I can pick upload. And then I can just pick a picture, open it up here, and then select the file. Select file. And then it's going to look like this as it's uploading. It looks like these funny words. But then once you hit post, uh-oh, title field is required. Picture, post. Then your picture pops up just like that. And you can do more than one. I did figure that out too. You can do two or three in the same post if you want to as well. So no videos. You can do video URLs. So if you see a YouTube video or something cool that you want to watch, you can go ahead and put the URL in. It's not great at thumbnails. It was thumbnailing some stuff, and then other things I was having to pull over and just like do a screenshot and post a thumbnail up there for the videos. But again, we'll be, continuing to work on those things. But you can do video URLs. You can do links, of course, to, well, I remember I linked to let's see, this climate change one. Um, I thought the last Central Intelligence article was pretty cool because they were using elastomerics in the 30s, and I wasn't even really aware of that during the Dust Bowl. But you'll see you can go ahead and you can link to outside articles and things if you want to do that as well. So like I said, it's a pretty simple interface. It reminds me a little bit of some of the older message boards and stuff that we used to do before Facebook was a thing. But it's ours, it's private. And it's a way that we can, stay in community and also share the things in community that we want to share without any, fear of, censorship or repercussion. So, and I do want to take another opportunity to say thank you also to everyone who's helping put this together. We're sort of trying to break it down in sections, and we've had some really good help and really generous people come in and share their time to put this all together as well. So Sunday at noon, I'm going to start sending out by email the invite codes to people who have supported us on Ko-fi. I'm going to do 100 at a time to start with, and then depending on how long it takes us to let those first 100 people in and vet them and get them all up and going, I'm hoping it won't take more than 2 hours. And then, so at noon, and then at 2, and then at 4, and then at 6, and then at 8, we'll be letting 100 people in at a time. If you miss your window, as long as it's sometime on Sunday when you go in and use your code, it should be fine. The code may change for Monday if we don't get through. If we don't get through everybody on Sunday, it may stay the same. But if we get through to everybody, that invite code will change periodically just to make sure that it's not getting posted on Reddit or thrown out on X or something like that, because that would give people the opportunity to come into our community that we don't necessarily know yet, which is fine. We like new friends, but first we want to get everybody settled and the forums running for people, and we also want to minimize any kind of trolling. So the code, I think we'll be able to give everybody the code tomorrow who are our Ko-fi supporters. And if you're not and you want to be a Ko-fi supporter, you just go to Ko-fi/still coviding. You could give as little as $1, and support our work, and then get the invites that way. But eventually everyone in our groups will have a chance to join. The donation is not mandatory. It is much appreciated, but if you want to wait and till you can come in without a donation, then over the next several weeks we'll be batching people in. The next batch of people that we will be letting in is everyone who has signed up on our alternative communication group. You guys might remember that we created this to centralize communication. So the first round will be our Ko-fi supporters. The next round will be the people who are in smoke signals and Morse code. And the next round will be our +5 group members, because we have time sensitive information, particularly in that group, that needs to come and be integrated and freely shared. So that's sort of the plan for the order of entry that we'll have for the forum. And this video here will be posted on our YouTube channel. I don't know if a lot of you actually even know about our YouTube channel. It seems like most people still don't really know that we have one. But definitely, if you can, if someone asks you, they say, "Oh, I couldn't come. I don't. What's up with the new form or whatever?" We'll have this video posted within the next couple of days on the channel so that you can direct people here. And of course, everyone should also subscribe to the channel so that when we upload new videos and stuff, you actually get that information as well. And great, thank you, Christina. Christina's got notes that will also be shared about the forum and how to get in, and as per our usual method when we try to disseminate the information. So we really appreciate that from Christina. And I think that's basic. That's the basics of the forum. I am going to go ahead and take questions. I'll turn off the video so before we do the Q&A. But I do hope to see everybody over at Still Coviding and Beyond, and let's just make this the same type of vibrant community that we have. Oh, the other thing I do want to say is, we're not shutting the Facebook groups down. This will be a long process and a gradual transition. So we will be concurrently using the Facebook groups and the forum until we get everybody over and comfortable, and the information flowing freely. We will be sharing some sensitive information only on the forum, but we'll also be saying that in the Facebook groups. Hey, if you want to know about this, hop on the forum. And so don't feel like that, oh my God, the Facebook groups are going away. What are we going to do? We honestly have over 15,000 people cumulatively in our Facebook groups. And so it will definitely be a process to get everybody into the forum and the forum running smoothly. And then I think we'll still probably leave the Facebook groups open as long as we feasibly can, just so that new people can find us, because it's a lot easier for people to find us on Facebook than it is for people to find this forum. And that is intentional, especially especially now. But as we grow, then we'll start that transition. But don't feel like you're going to lose your Facebook communities or anything like that, in a snap. This is a just a way to better serve our community and eventually transition us over here. Okie dokie. With that, I am going to turn off the recording, and then I will take Q&A.